Well, my name is Scott Martin, and I'm a member of Community Covenant Church in Rehoboth, Massachusetts. This is my aircraft. I have a manufacturing facility up in Massachusetts. We manufacture and also import handbags and sell under our own brand across the country. And aviation has always been a passion of mine. I've been flying since I was 15 and just love it. And to be able to take a passion and to serve God and honor God with that and to help others is a wonderful blessing to me, and just I'm so blessed to be able to participate in this way. The reason that we're here is we are a domestic satellite location for the Willow Creek Leadership Summit, which happens every August. And 4 years ago now, Bono was one of the speakers, and he was talking about how he was calling the church out at being absent on HIV, AIDS, and extreme poverty. And we really felt convicted that we needed to get our church involved. And so we started, we weren't quite sure where we were going to go. We said, okay, well, we're going to go to Africa, because that was sort of what the whole Bono piece was about. And as we started meeting on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, we started feeling that God was leading us to Haiti, because it has all the same issues as sub-Saharan Africa, but it's just off the coast. And so there's a lot of a logistical sense in trying to actually be able to have some impact. And so for the last, when we were talking, we have a member of our congregation who was from Haiti, and he said, well, if you want to make a change in Haiti, you have to address the top. And we're like, address the, fix the top. How can we play in that? And as we kept talking about it, we started saying, well, it's a leadership problem. And so we say, well, holy mackerel, we've been doing the satellite location for the Leadership Summit for Willow Creek for the past 6 years. We know a lot about that. What about if we bring the Leadership Summit to the Global Leadership Summit, which is basically a rebroadcast after it's been translated and all of that, bring that to Haiti and try and bring in Christian-based leadership principles at the highest caliber into the leaders of Port-de-Paix. And so that was our vision. And this past November was the third annual Global Leadership Summit in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And we had 275 participants, which is more than what we even get in our satellite location up in Massachusetts. And so we've been just pleased. And the neat thing is our intent was to not run it ourselves, but to get a team in place that can run it for Haiti. And that's, we're not about coming down and doing the work. We're about coming down here and enabling the leaders to do it themselves. And so this year we were totally hands off. We were available if necessary, but the team in Port-au-Prince did a phenomenal job. It was top class, top shelf. And we really love the Willow Creek motto of excellence, honors God and inspires people. And we really believe that to be true. And they did it with excellence. And so we were actually planning to come down here February to start what we consider our phase 2. After the Leadership Summit was in place, we figured we'd have that as a flagship event. And then we would also wrap around that other technical skills, like I'm in manufacturing, and I love lean manufacturing, and I love it, and I've taught it around the world. And so bring lean manufacturing training to the people of Haiti. Again, building up the leaders. We have to build up the leaders. We don't want to come down and build their houses and their hospitals. We want them to build their houses and their hospitals and give them the jobs, and to get a vibrant economy here, because that's what it's all about, and trying to sort of fight corruption. So while we normally aren't into doing like aid directly, obviously this is extreme circumstances, and so we were willing to come down here if we weren't going to be in the way. We didn't really know. It was difficult to get information about how we could serve, and we just said, well, we started getting enough information where we felt that there was a good possibility that we could do airlifting from the DR into some of the outlying strips that can't receive like a C-130. So we're bringing the MU-2 in here, and it's 2,500 feet, if you want to say that. It depends on whether you count the donkey at the end of the runway. The first time was definitely a little bit of a pucker factor. And but once I got in and got out and sort of knew those parameters, the second and the third times were, fairly routine once I sort of knew the parameters. But coming in the first time was definitely a little nerve-wracking. Are you going to get bumps? Is somebody going to come on the runway? Are you going to be able to stop? There's just so many unknowns, and you just try and prepare yourself best you can. And the first time we came in, my pastor, just sort of did a little quick prayer, give Scott peace, and really, it calmed me, and just get her done. Basically, they have brought in tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff, and I mean we could be here for the next month. And there's a lot of I'm part of an MU2 users group, and there's actually talk on that website saying, oh, I want to get down there too. So I think that and the same thing with the Pilatus. You notice there's a lot of Pilatuses around, and the Pilatus users group did a similar sort of thing. They made an outreach to the users group saying, you want to come down and serve? We have some opportunities, some great flying, and so come on down. They can use your help. My co-pilot is my pastor, Dennis Burrill, and he is the most strategic leader I have ever met in my life. He used to be a bigwig in AT&T, and many years ago decided that God was leading him to lead a church in southeastern New England, and so he left that job and started Community Covenant Church, and we're a growing, healthy church with an elder-led leadership, and that's something that's hard to say in New England. New England's really struggling. The church is really struggling in New England. There's some studies that say we're, number 48 out of 50 or something along those lines in terms of spiritual health and those sorts of things. So we feel that, we have a model that works well, and, we just are trying to do what we think God's leading us to do.